Greetings, folks. I hope you're treating yourselves oh so well, and of course others. My name is Claire, and this is a channel where we like to do tarot. Today I thought we should do what makes you attractive to people and how to be more successful, and that could be business, relationships, overall appeal. Let's get it. Pile 1. Ooh. You were... Ooh, the moon. How delightful. Okay. Pile 1. Your card was the moon. How to be more successful in general. Okay. So, in the past, we got the 10 of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse, which are just polar opposite cards. It's like the beginning and the end. I think that you always look good at the end of relationships or situations. Maybe you've developed a way to invest and de-invest, though necessary for you would be to start speaking your piece more fluidly even. You have a tendency to bottle it up until it becomes emotional. And with that, then the person can sense that you're feeling emotional about it and may react in a lot of variables because of that. It's just an approach that you have. Basically, if you could start to say your piece or say where you're at immediately in situations or more frequently, I think that could be very beneficial for you avoiding unnecessary tasks or having to deal with accidentally like frustrating people or yourself, because sometimes it's almost like if you were to speak up in situations you could have gotten exactly where you wanted to be. It just was really uncomfortable for you to do so. And maybe this is the time of your life to... You've only gotten cups so far. The time of your life, you got it was the 10 of Cups reverse, Ace of Cups reverse. So it's almost like you're in a standstill. You got the 8 of Cups. You walking away. It's okay. I think that maybe you walk away from situations too quickly when if you were to speak in a certain way, you could have still gotten out of the situation or more comfortably moved through it, perhaps. You could have cheated yourself out of things you didn't even know, or people's other sides. Maybe the situation would have resulted similarly, but that you would have experienced other sides of people that would have been beneficial for you in other ways. So it's a matter of, you need to start just like figuring out how to stand your ground in certain situations. There are certain ideals that you are holding very strong to these days that you need to relay to others. If you have things in your life that are very important to you, you need to... This was the Knight of Swords in reverse. You've gotten a lot of reverse cards. So I think you're at a point in your life where you're almost frustrated, maybe at a standstill, because you're wondering where to go in a situation. I think that there's a need to move forward in some aspect of your life that you are almost wanting to just throw out the window instead. And navigation in this is like an actual situation, I think, in your life, where if you were to navigate it properly, it would become more fruitful for you. It almost work for you. The 6 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, don't walk away from this situation the way that you have in many others. There's this thing about, if you treat this like you have other things in your life, whether just be like walking away or cutting ties in a certain aspect that you feel more comfortable with, and I think you're very aware of what it is because it might be a coping mechanism, don't do that this time. It will hinder you. It will almost make you... I think that life will make you so distraught that you're gonna have to come to you got another cup card, and it's in reverse. It's the Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay, yeah. Your life is going to make, and this is to your benefit, life is going to make situations almost unbearable so quickly to force you to navigate differently. And it's nice, but you can almost take the reins and become a lot more powerful, a lot quicker. Sorry, whatever. Seven of Cups. This is, you're not going to know the results until you navigate them. You have a way of maybe even telling the future or navigating it a certain way. You're very devout to the ways that you are, and that's beautiful. I admire conviction. But with this, and I think moving forward, there's a certain need for you to not understand the end, for you to have to make the uncomfortable decisions to move through certain things. You can't walk away. You can't always walk away, and it's going to start hurting you in the future. From now on, I think the cut and run fight is the necessary. You can no longer flight it out of here. You have to do this. Navigate a situation a certain way. The Seven of Cups is about not knowing what you're getting out of a situation, and I think that's just the beauty of it all, I guess. You have a control issue in a lot of facets of your life that rears its head, but it's also the beautiful aspect of, like, it gives you the ability to not drag your feet. You have a lot of routines. You're doing it. You're doing a lot of great things, but control is it gets a little dicey for you. So you need to move through a few situations that you would naturally just cast aside for whatever reason, even if you don't see a lot of merit in them. I think there's a lot to do with seeing how people react to certain things, dealing with those sort of situations for you from now on. I think that would be very beneficial for success. Another in reverse. I don't think we've gotten one upright card yet. So the Queen of Wands in reverse. It's this thing that I've kind of been feeling a tug. It's like the more you fight for yourself, the more you identify your boundaries and kind of just lay them out the rhetoric doesn't have to be emotional, almost. If you can get in a routine of telling people your boundaries naturally and concisely, quickly, when things arise that you're kind of like, that are unsavory to you, you don't really want to deal with any longer, there's a need for you to communicate differently instead of not communicate at all, perhaps, or something like that. The more you fight for yourself and find your awareness, the more people will start fighting for you in this life. And I think that that's something that people really want to do. You're very amusing to people. People really enjoy the way your face makes expressions very captivating in a lot of ways, and a lot of people want to observe you. So with that, I think the more that you fight for yourself, the more you will fight for the right to be out loud, observed naturally in your best state, that kind of thing. This card's just so beautiful, and you got the Moon card. I think there's a natural radiance to you, and the more you kind of stop stifling it with being frustrated in things that might not even need to be, it's like a deficit that you're holding. The only reason you're frustrated is because they weren't communicated properly immediately or in a better way. So success is yours, and it's in your hands. Beautiful, glorious. You gotta know I love you. Wonderful, lovely pile 2. Hello. This is success advice, what people like about you, perhaps, and how to navigate forward into more bountiful success. Your card was the Ace of Swords, but it's this axe, and I think the axe was so charming. That's why I chose that card. You have a sense of humor. People eat it up. I think that you know how to bounce back and forth. Like, you know how to bring the life out of people. Maybe even, you definitely brighten days, obviously. I think you know that. I think that you look for that. There's a need for you to also kind of embrace the idea of not getting hung up on how people treat you, no matter how you treated them. And I think that's even kind of just as casual as if you make eye contact and like smile or hold a door for someone, you almost expect like a thank you or like a smile back or something. And sometimes that is not always received, and it kind of like ruffles your feathers. I think there's almost a need for you to like look at people, smile sincerely like you are going to, because you're just, I think you're like a ball of sun. What is that? Okay. You are like a ball of fire, I think I was trying to say. People like looking at you. It's almost like people have a different personality around you, and that can be to your benefit. You're cool, is what I would like to say. Page of Pentacles, and it was upright. New ideas. It's people want to invest in you. I think that maybe realizing where you want to focus could be very 5, 6, 7. You might be caught up in your emotional day-to-day, maybe watching content that is high strung. A lot is going on right now in this world, and you might be kind of enthralled in it or just wrapped up in it in some way, form, or fashion. A lot is going on, and I think it's starting to wear on you. There's a need for you to replenish your own cup. Devise a plan for you to find your center again, happiness in some form or fashion. I think that people are kind of failing you in every form of direction. And the Page of Pentacles is kind of, you're moving forward on a day-to-day basis, and that's annoying. You're like taking one day at a time sort of situation, being like, when is it gonna give? The Wheel of Fortune. But I was gonna say Pentacles. We'll take one more. The Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. We gotta do another one. This is, oh, but these 2 10s, 10, 10, you could be seeing a lot. See the 2 X's. You could have multiple people from your past looking into you. There's a need for you to cleanse your space, that's for sure. I think that you might have a lot of like evil eyes or watchers, just people kind of wanting to know what your intent is or what you're up to, and that might be adding kind of like a cosmic pressure to your psyche that you're wrapped up in having to deal with. The Queen of Wands. Okay, your success. I'm finally getting somewhere. I was like, how are we gonna get to like the Ten of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune? And it almost made me feel like right now we're just having to deal with it. But no, this is, you need to force yourself to get back on your cycles, thrones, the things that you were doing before. Get back at it. Do that again. You need to put yourself out there in ways that maybe you were doing in the past and it overrided you. You could have been a little overwhelmed. I think you were a little overwhelmed by all the stuff that you took on and the manner you took it on before. There's a need to revisit those things and do them again, but more casually. Find a routine where you aren't spreading yourself too thin. You need to start putting yourself out there in the facets that you have been. You're very creative. You're very socially aware. There's so much coming towards you as you identify it. It's almost like you're going to be able to grab for the things that you want. And almost you might have a pull towards those things right now. Like you want to get back into doing hobbies, work, love. There's lots of things that you're trying to get back into. You need to just kind of figure out how to do those more normally. not get overwhelmed by them like you did in the past. It's almost like you took on too much or wanted to do too much, thinking that that was normal, and it's not. That's not the norm for you. So the Queen of Wands. You will look better. Judgment. A lot of people around us are, I think you might be as well kind of dealing with some of the judgment that you might have poured into yourself. Listen, I did it too recently, but the idea is you have to make it out of this time right now, looking the best, feeling the best that you possibly can, because you're about to have to take on a more busy, engaging lifestyle. You have to do that. You have to step up and start doing it more frequently. Even if it's not serious, it doesn't have to be so big and grand, but you really do need to take reins on a few things in your life, and they will start amplifying more. I think they'll start showing which direction will be more beneficial to you. They're all going to be a nice little outlet for you in different ways, but there's just such a need for you to get back into it in a more concise, healthy way for you, for sure. The Page of Cups, I always like this card. It was at the bottom, so it's kind of, I guess it may be like a lingering energy. The Page of Cups, but it's like a little duck. This is the Over the Garden Wall. Over the Garden Wall is like a little animated series. It's really cute. So let's see. Okay, apologies. So, yeah, the Page of Cups. You got this cute, look at his little dinky face. It's this little duck. I think that maybe a lot of people are going to reveal themselves in time. And the more that you put yourself out there, the more you almost are engaging with the idea of getting yours. It's like if you're around for when everything is, you're going to get left out if you don't put yourself in the game sort of situation. You need to get back at it, but not be doing too much sort of situation, because there's a lot of karma in the air, a lot of suspense. There's stuff's going on, and you want to be around for when it happens, because I think it's going to involve you in certain ways. It's going to be tantalizing or just satisfying. So if you don't want to feel left out, there's a serious need for you to convey yourself more frequently, put yourself out there in whatever ways that you do, whether it's communication, online, outdoors, IRL. I don't know. It seems like you're very aware of your situation, because also the star on the bottom. Let's do this. Page of Wands. New ideas coming in for you. You're fishing for what's going to stick in your life. For once, you might be at a level almost. It's like, I wanted to say ground zero. I don't know if that's a faux pas to say that. You're at the base of a situation where you're about to start building upwards, and ideas that you've never even thought of might be coming to fruition. But things are going to be coming to the surface in many ways. The things that dwell beneath, they're coming up, and you want to be sharpening your blade, and that takes action. So whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, whatever fulfills you, start it back up and start doing it to not the fullest, but the most the way that you can. Do it the way that you can. And I think that life is going to start molding into a more savory, enjoyable experience. So with that, you gotta know I love you. Pile 3, howdy. Welcome. This is success, how to find it, how to attain it, moving forward, what people find successful or what people like about you, that sort of thing, that song and dance. I think that you could be kind of mysterious, or you might have dark features or qualities, maybe even like a black cat. I don't know how I got that, but you could be very animal inclined. People think animals when they think of you for some reason, or a specific type of animal. Oh my gosh. Okay, so your card. The Tower. Ooh, rocky. Okay, so the Tower signifies drastic change, but out of nowhere. I think that you make a lot of hard decisions, or there's a lot of hard decisions that are necessary for you to move forward, and you're going to be out of nowhere, maybe changing very drastically in the near future. I don't think that you can be aware or know about it. It's almost you are in the know about it right now. I think you kind of have an inkling that something is very different about your future than what's going on in your life right now. And with that, you're kind of just waiting it out. You're in wait. You're like a crocodile, just in the water with its eyes slightly above. 8 of Wands. I'm feeling an energy of you being in a chariot, or something, a carriage that has like horses in front of it. You're being in a horse words right now. Wow. Okay. 8 of Wands. I think that you are being taken by life in a direction that is very fast moving, but you don't see it. It almost feels like you're in a standstill. The Star in reverse, it almost feels like you are being slighted and or overlooked in many ways. And that is almost the test. I think you have a test right now, and if you pass it, you move forward, and if you don't, then you have knowledge for the next time you're going to be tested. It is your life's work. The Ace of Rings, which would be the Ace of Pentacles. I think the Ace of Pentacles is dignifying what was your past. Something that you might be known for a certain aspect of you're successful in some way that people are aware of. People know you for something, and I think that thing is starting to wear on you, or you're having to taper it in certain ways. It's not so beneficial to you, or your body is no longer allowing you to move forward in this way. There's something about you're having to change your life path and you're being forced to. It is maybe a little uncomfortable, but you're about to find that it is way more, you're going to move forward a lot easier, swiftly. The world will start working with you in ways that you've never felt a part of you or obligated to. A worldly inheritance will be yours soon, that you didn't have access to this thing because you were on your path, but it was not the end goal. And you're honing in on your end goal now. You're getting to your final, what you're wanting to do, your destination. It's almost like you're so unsettled with the 4 of Wands in reverse. Yes, you want to find home. You want to get there. And your success is like, you're always going to be able to feel emotionally successful, inwardly successful, because you are a person who has spent so much time to themselves, or you're very devout to the person that you are because you've spent the time. You've put in the hours in a lot of different aspects, making you a really secure person. And you know that you can adjust really quickly to things and become very good at what you need to be good at very quickly. So nothing really makes you nervous. I don't think you've even been held to a job or a lifestyle that strongly in your life that you couldn't let go of. Like, you could have enjoyed every aspect of your life in some way, and maybe not. Maybe there is kind of like a sting to everything, but you have been able to maneuver through life and adjust yourself so quickly that you've never felt without, or when you did, it was a long time ago. You haven't felt desolate or hopeless in so long. And that is because you're about to take on a lifestyle that the Knight of Cups, I think that from the past you might have done or been put through a lot of things that altered your character. You might have been a little untantalizing, or I think you were not good for yourself and or others in some way, form, or fashion, and through time and effort you have become that, and now it's time for you to actually reap the rewards and feel that. And when you get the opportunity to give your time and energy to people, give it 1,000%. Even if you aren't feeling, what I'm saying is, like, even if you do feel like emotionally upset or something's going on that day, if you're feeling amazing, give all that you can. But if you are feeling not amazing and you feel like there's something that you need to communicate, give that too. Don't give it in an emotional way. You will be regulated. I think that you are kind of regulated with your emotions. You just don't know it yet because you've never really tested it. I think you're sufficiently nervous about kind of showing people who you emotionally or truly are all the way. Like, you never really fully open up to people, or you're always 1 foot out the door sort of person, and there's a need for you to kind of drop that behavior, and that is going to be slowly identified with multiple aspects of your life. Like, you're gonna have to give in small ways to certain people so that you can give fully to others. Like, maybe in love you've never had the ability to fully take on a healthy relationship, and that's going to be possible because you have healthy attachments in other aspects of your life, because you're just maintaining that. You're not stifling yourself in any way. You're not cutting your emotions off. There's a very fine line between, it's like your intuition is your emotion. Like, you can almost tell when something is wrong, and you need to be able to initiate that conversation and or the banter that comes with that. You need to be able to initiate conflict, because you're someone who is very good at communicating through conflict, and whether you recognize that or not, that's going to be very beneficial to your future. You're going to be able to navigate conflict very well, and I think that is going to brighten and identify your future in a lot of ways. You're going to need that skill, that ability, because that will be a huge aspect of your future. Being able to maybe talk people down from things, or I wanted to say talk people into things, but there's just a certain thing of, like, you need to know how to navigate emotions properly, healthy, because your emotional soundness is going to gauge your future in a lot of ways. Knight of Swords, and it was upright. Yeah, a lot of things are going to be coming at you in a lot of different directions, and I think the more naturally you are as a person centered, the more healthy you are as a person, the better you'll be able to navigate these situations that come out of you, like, really quickly. You're gonna have to think on your toes, and if it's almost like, when people are drunk and they do something really messed up or they say something really messed up when they're drunk, you're like, oh my God, that was in your psyche. This is the similar situation. It's almost like you don't want to do anything really messed up just because someone got you out of left field, or someone like surprised you or startled you in some way. You want to be able to hold your position and be sound and strong in it at all times. You don't want to get overly emotional or upset if something catches you off guard, because your ability to navigate emotional situations is just going to like heighten your awareness for yourself and others. I think people are going to start just believing you or trusting in you. There's something that you are a foundation for a lot of people, places, or things, something like that. And it's just, you're a pillar in some sort of society or community, something like that. And you're very necessary, very loved, very appreciated. Just, it gets better for you. It only gets better for you and more emotionally fulfilling. I think maybe the past had been very absent, emotionally inept, those sort of situations. And it's this future forward life, the thing that you're about to experience moving forward, is just so much more gratifying and fulfilling in ways that you didn't even know existed, because you've never felt them before and you've never tested yourself in those ways. So with that, again, I love you.